welcome to Matt's Metal Show. What's today? Today we're going to be talking about whatever. First thing I wanted to get out of the way was David Lee Roth has announced his retirement. I've bashed Dave a lot of times, but you know, I wonder if it was that shit with Gene Simmons where David Lee Roth was opening for Kiss on the end of the fucking world tour, and then the pandemic hit, and so when the touring started back up, they replaced David Lee Roth, and Gene Simmons, being a fucktard that he is, he made some comments saying like, "Oh, Dave, he didn't know what happened. Dave used to be the greatest frontman of all time," and then, he was basically saying like it was watching Fat Elvis. Which, if you watch some of the Fat Elvis stuff when he was totally incoherent shit, and like his little guy with the towel would lead him over to the fucking piano, and even Elvis like fucked up and not even know where he was. That guy still was fucking awesome. I remember watching a thing where he just started doing like playing the piano and played Unchained Melody, and it was fucking awesome. Then like a week later, he was fucking dead. So Gene Simmons got into a fight with David Lee Roth, and David Lee Roth like tweeted like a little kid flipping him off like 100 times, and apparently Dave took offense to it. But then weirdly, David Lee Roth's retiring, so and I'm sure there's all these factors. One, Dave's terrible, but he's still David Lee Roth. No matter how much we bash him, no matter how much we say like, "Oh man, he's terrible, he can't sing, he's totally crazy," and like, well, that's David Lee Roth. I mean, he's still one of the pioneers of fucking rock music. I mean, Van Halen was. You can't touch David Lee Roth. The first 4 Van Halen albums, you can't touch. The first 6 Van Halen albums, you can't touch. I mean, come on. It's fucking David Lee Roth's one of the fucking biggest rock stars ever. And, so I guess he's doing some shows in Vegas, like, at the end of the year. And then his last show's, like January 5th or something of 2022. And he's like, "Oh, I'm doing like 75 rehearsals for these last 5 shows." And it's like, okay, cool, man. It's not going to be stellar, but, hey, kudos to Dave. Good run. 88 probably was the last year where David Lee Roth was relevant, but cool, man. I saw him on the Eat 'Em and Smile tour. Even then, he wasn't a good singer, but that was a phenomenal show. Met him. It was super cool, super fucking cool dude. And then saw him on the Skyscraper tour. Also in David Lee Roth. I remember I went with the Metal God. Me and the Metal God and his girlfriend at the time, Chris, and some other chick. I can't remember who it was. It's like a double date David Lee Roth show. And I remember like Poison opened. Talk to me, talk through to me, fucking Poison. And I remember we had seats on the side of the stage, right next to Cece, right? Cece's side, Steve Vai's side, the guitar player's side. If you're facing it, the exit stage left, right? Exit stage left. Yeah. I remember we got super high during Poison because they were a joke. And then Lee Roth came out, and we're watching that show. And I remember about a couple songs in, this fucking explosion goes off over the fucking audience, like it's fucking like a M80 or some shit. And I remember everybody was like, "Ooh, what the fuck was that? Like, was that part of the show, or, you know?" and we're high as fuck, so we're all, that wasn't cool. You know, people throwing sticks of dynamite and shit in the fucking audience. That's not cool. So, a couple minutes later, they're playing, I can't remember what song they were playing, but they're playing, and this explosive device lands in Steve Vai's face, like goes off, like right in his face, and it literally knocks Steve Vai like unconscious. And we're like right there. We're like, what the fuck, you know? And he's just laying there, and Lee Roth's still going on, the band's still going on, and then they notice, and they're like, holy shit. That was one of the weirdest fucking, you know, you get fucking like super high, and then some crazy shit like that happens. Dude, are we at the show where fucking Steve Vai got killed? Holy shit. Mind blowing, you know. A couple minutes later, Lee Roth comes out, and he's fuming, of course, because what the fuck? Really? You getting blown up? And I remember he's fucking, you know, come on, motherfucker. And I remember there was a dude behind us, and this guy goes, hey, man, I saw you do that. And this guy was like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. And we're like standing there like, what the fuck? And this dude starts like edging towards the aisle while this guy's like, dude, I saw you do that. I saw you fucking throw that. And everybody's like, what? And then he just takes off running. And then all of a sudden, like 10 security guards fucking like run after him. And Lee Roth still chewing us out up on stage, making us feel guilty because we're just at the show, you know. They're like, not trying to blow you up, you know, but this fucking asshole. I'm sure they fucking beat him to a pulp. But, you know, Lee Roth, our Steve Vai came back out eventually, and we were good. Thank God. Because we were just like, because there wasn't that many songs in. It was fucking weird, man. Don't fucking blow people up at concerts. Fucking terrible. Fucking assholes. I remember Iron Maiden. Every time Iron Maiden would come in the 80s, there was some asshole that would throw shit up on stage, like on fire and stuff. And it was like, and I remember Bruce Dickinson, the first time I saw him, no, it was the second time I saw him. First time I saw him was, same shit happened on the fucking Power Slave tour, the fucking World Slavery tour. Same shit. Bruce had to go, what the fuck, you know? Second time, though, was on the Summer in Time tour, and he straight up was like, one more fucking thing comes up here, like, on fire and shit, like, we're fucking leaving, and we're never coming back. And they don't really come to San Diego. Because apparently there's some fucking pyromaniac that's a fucking fan of Iron Maiden. Oh, let me light my underwear on fire and throw them on stage. Like, what the fuck? But, yeah, that was some crazy shit, Lee Roth. They still put on a fucking great show, though. Dave, even though Dave couldn't sing, he still put on a fucking great show. Both those shows that we saw, the 86 and I think it was the 87 or 88 tour, Skyscraper. Those were fucking great shows, man. They had a great band. Even though Billy Sheehan wasn't on the second tour, but the first tour, and we were close. And I told my Steve Vai story about the first tour, but, you know, you have to go back and find it. Yeah, everybody's bowing out, dude, or trying to. I don't know if Kiss will ever finish their end of the fucking road tour. They'll probably all be fucking dead before that happens, you know, because they've stopped it from COVID like 5 times. And, you know, now they're like, you know, Ace Frehley will definitely be a part of the end of the road tour. Who fucking cares, dude? Seriously, are you sitting here at this day and age in 2021 going, God, I love Ace Frehley. Looks like me. He's up there. I was watching some. He's opening for Alice Cooper, so he's doing this weird set, and I guess people were bitching about the fact that he's not doing any Frehley's Comet material, and you know, you look up my Frehley's Comet here real quick. Because, you know, I remember Rock Soldier, right? Into the Night. Rock Soldiers. Yeah, I don't... Dancing with Danger? What fucking song is he? Loser in a Fight? What song is he doing from fucking Frehley's Comet that people are bitching about? It's so funny how people are bitching about stuff like that. People bitch about everything nowadays. They're like, anyway, the outfit he was wearing. Yeah, fuck yourself. You think Ace Frehley gives a fucking rat's ass about what the fuck you think of him? He doesn't. And good for Ace. Because he's an old man. You know. But yeah, he's up there doing like, he does like Strutter and like Deuce and Detroit Rock City. Of course he was Shock Me, right? Shock Me. Make me feel better. Shock me. Put on your black leather. I saw some footage of it. It's not phenomenal. It's fucking, he's sloppy as shit. You like watch Ace up there, he's all, well, you know, he plays like the rudiments of the song, and then he sings it. He sings Deuce, which is fucking weird, you know, because you're always used to Gene singing that song. But he wrote those fucking songs, you know. I don't know why he didn't do Cold Gin though, because Cold Gin he straight wrote, like, you know, that's Ace Frehley. I don't know if he had writing credits on the other songs. The songs like Shock Me and definitely Cold Gin. It's Cold Gin time again. He wrote Cold Gin, but he didn't want to sing it, because back then he didn't want to sing. He didn't sing on a fucking album until fucking, what, Love Gun? Shock Me, right? Shock Me. People love that song. I think it's funny. I think Ace sounds funny on that song. But hey, that's that's the song where he like touched the, you know, they had those platforms that used to raise them up and down, and he like grabbed one of them like in some show and wherever the fuck. I'll probably put it right here. And he got fucking bolted because it wasn't grounded. So he actually wrote a song about like getting the fuck shocked out of him, even though he's putting on his black leather. Shock me, make me feel better. Which it actually does, man. You ever been electrocuted? I have. Whoa! Man, afterwards you're like, whoa, I feel great. Anyways, woo! Way off tangent, way off whatever. Thank you, Lee Roth, for all the stuff that you've given us over the years. Most of it's. I think there's a tale of two cities when it comes to Dave's career. There's the good stuff, and then the stuff that makes you cringe. So you should have went out on top, like, you know. But hey, whatever. Got to make them dollars, right? Even though he made like a lot of money. I mean, unless Dave has some really bad spending habits, I mean, he should have money. But, you know, a lot of these people don't know how to control their money. They just fucking live this lavish lifestyle, and then they go, oh, shit. And then they kind of rely on Van Halen to go make a bunch more money so they can, like, go do it again. And that train has left the station permanently, you know, so... They had the MTV Music Awards, and I guess Lee Roth actually like mentioned Eddie and said, "Oh, he's either up in heaven, raised in hell, or he's down in hell and he's in heaven, or some shit like that." And everybody was like, Oh, Dave Lee Roth. Whatever. Dude, they weren't friends. They weren't. I don't think they were ever friends. When you look back, you're like, was there a brotherhood between Eddie Van Halen and David Lee Roth? I never got that impression. I got I'm the lead singer and I'm the fucking guitar player feel. I never got the camaraderie. I love these guys. They're my bros. I got I'm the fucking rock star and that guy plays guitar. And, hindsight's always 2020. And I know, Dave probably down in his weird, creepy heart, I'm sure he felt regret. Or he's like a fucking showman and he has to fucking make himself look good. So he's like, oh man, I miss Eddie so much. She's my bro, dude. And it's like, Eddie Van Halen, said it on the record in interviews. I'm not friends with him. Like, I'm not friends with him. And he said that. So, but once somebody's dead, everybody can go back and go, oh, dude, I love that guy. He was oh, man, I'm so broken up. It's like when Kobe Bryant died, If you're a big basketball fan, I get it. Or, people are big Kobe Bryant fans, but I'm not a basketball fan. I don't really give a fuck about basketball. So I was kind of the outside observer watching people lose their motherfucking mind. I mean, it's a tragedy. It is. I'm not belaying the fact that it wasn't a fucking tragedy. But at the same time, it's like, you didn't know this dude, or his daughter, or the other 13 fucking people that were on that helicopter that got fucking destroyed, Fucking people. Oh, I'm gonna go get a Kobe Bryant and his daughter's number tattooed on my neck because I fucking love them. I like how everybody's like, oh, what was her name? Like Gianni or something. Like, and I'm not being disrespectful because that was a tragedy. But at the same time, outside people, mind your fucking business, dude. You don't know those people. And don't sit there and walk around and throw that little girl's name around like you're a fucking parent or a fucking best friend. It's fucking sick and weird. I fucking hate that shit. And how hard was her life, dude? She's flying to a fucking basketball game in a fucking private helicopter, So she lived a better life than you did. It was brief, but she lived a way better life than you did. So good for her. She was spoiled, though. Whatever. Anyways, I don't know where the fuck that came from. Unscripted, man. Just goes out there. Anyways, we're still talking about David Lee Roth? I don't think so. I think we were talking about Kiss End of the Road tour, right? Yeah, and they're like, oh, all of a sudden, like, oh, yeah. Now, there's been this back and forth going on for months and probably years now. Race is all, they haven't invited me, so I don't think I'm going to have anything to do with this fucking tour. Is somebody sitting around waiting for them to fucking call? First of all, is anybody sitting around waiting to go see Kiss one final time? I'm not. Fucking... But then I guess there's people that are sitting around waiting for Ace and Peter to, which, I mean, it would make sense because like when they did the End of the Road for Black Sabbath, Bill Ward wasn't there. I talked about it on my Black Sabbath show, but like, dude, Bill Ward wasn't there. And it was the last show they were ever going to perform. And that was fucked up. That was. Bill Ward should have been there. Ozzy even said it later on, dude, Bill should have been here. And he should have. And you guys were sitting there haggling about money and bullshit. Just fucking play together. Fuck, man. It's not that hard. Bunch of fucking children. I'm sure Sharon Osbourne had something to do with it because she's a fucking total royal cunt. But anyways. Apparently they're coming out with a biopic on Sharon Osbourne's life. Okay. I'm running out to fucking watch that. I hope. Oh. God, I gotta find out what Sharon Osbourne's all about. Apparently, though, it's not really. It's like mostly about her and then like Ozzy's relationship. So it'll be a you know, it'll be like that God Bless Ozzy movie that, his son did a while ago, which I have, and it was fun to watch, but it was pointless. It's like, oh, Ozzy, he's such a, you know, is Ozzy a nice guy? I don't fucking think so. I think he's clueless most of the time, but definitely his fucking wife is not a nice person. She's not. But yeah, it's supposed to be like, painting Sharon in such a smart businesswoman, fucking psychopath. A lot of these people get painted in these powerful images, and dude, have you seen interviews with Sharon Osbourne? She's a retard. Fuck her. But she latched on to Ozzy. Do you know how many people these people have around them? That's the funny thing. It's like, everybody looks at, oh, Sharon Osbourne, she's such a genius. She came up with like Ozfest and all this, and she's so amazing. And she turned Ozzy's career from nothing into like, a 50 or $60 million or whatever. And you're like, dude, you know how many people that bitch is surrounded by that fucking make her look good? Ugh. Can you imagine being like her personal assistant? Fucking just kill her and put her in a fucking closet somewhere. Don't do that. If Sharon Osbourne's personal assistant is watching this, don't do that. I just have to say that. Anyways, I guess it's based around, I don't know. It's supposed to be based around like Ozzy and Sharon's relationship. And, she'll play the victim where Ozzy tried to fucking strangle her. And then he cheated on her with some fucking hairdresser. Remember that? That was a couple of years ago. Can't picture Ozzy cheating. I can't even picture Ozzy trying to have sex. Ew, I don't want to picture Ozzy. But, I mean, can you picture that? I want to have sex. Who let the baboon out of the cage? Jesus. Apparently he was banging some hairdresser. And then his daughter, Psycho Kelly, I'm so in tune with the world. Fucking idiot. She's fucking sent the lady's like phone number out and said a bunch of crazy shit that, because I guess the chick was like way younger than Ozzy. I don't know if she was just totally attracted to Ozzy because he's so attractive. While she was dyeing his hair black, because his hair is fucking like steel gray. Steel gray. Yeah. You see those pictures from the pandemic? It was like Ozzy sitting in his car. They leave him in the car like a dog. He's like sitting around. And somebody's like outside, like snapping pictures of him. And he looks like utterly clueless. And he's got like silver fucking hair. And he's like, it's so funny. Anyways, yeah, Sharon Osbourne biopic. That's gonna be a winner. She'll be like, oh, I stuck with Ozzy, even though he's so abusive and he cheated on me. Bitch, he's the fucking money cow. Well, I mean, she makes her own money now because she's been on those stupid TV shows. Though she got booted off of one of them, but but before that, let Ozzy do whatever the fuck he wants. He's the fucking sugar daddy. He's the one making all the fucking money. It wasn't like, oh, Sharon Osbourne's like putting out a product that people are buying. No. Ride that fucking pony into the ground. Sharon Osbourne. Speaking of, and because I made a commentary the other day about, they just came out with a new box set. Black Sabbath did. And we all know that Sharon Osbourne owns Black Sabbath's soul. Her daddy owned them. And now her and Ozzy own Black Sabbath. That's why when Ronnie Dio was back in the band, it was called Heaven and Hell, because they own the Black Sabbath name. And only if Ozzy is in the band can it be called Black Sabbath. Anyways, they came out with this deluxe version of my motherfucking favorite Black Sabbath album, Technical Ecstasy. So I watch a bunch of people on YouTube. I always watch guys that, do album rankings and unveilings and shit like that. When I'm bored, I don't really oh my God. I don't really value other people's opinion that much. Being honest. And really, should you? I mean, your opinion is the only one that counts. To you, not to other people. Nobody should value my opinion. Why? Sometimes we have kindred spirits that, have the same opinion, and they're like, oh, that guy's cool, and that's cool. I like that. I find that every now and again. I always watch Mick Watkins. I like watching his little reviews because he's fucking Mick Watkins, man. Otherwise known as Dick Twatkins. Shout out to Mick. I watched his show the other day and I commented on him because he likes some interesting stuff, but he's way younger than me, so I'll give him that. He'll be like, I love Dancing Undercover from fucking Rat, and you're just like, oh, okay. Odd choice, but fight the power. I like watching his show. He actually did a show on Rat, and I was like, wow, no one's ever done a show on Rat. I'll have to do a Rat show. See if we mesh up, but I like him. There's a couple other guys. Obviously, I watch Pete Pardo. I don't watch him as much anymore because Pete's kind of boring. Pete's one of those nice guys. I just did my Queen show, and I was telling my friend Matt, the Metal God, I was telling him that I had a lot of fun doing my Queen show, and he goes, well, don't you have fun doing all of them? And I go, well, some more than others. I go, Queen was one of those bands where I don't hate anybody in the band. And he goes, okay, I understand that. I'm just saying, when I did my Guns N' Roses show, it's like, I like Guns N' Roses, but I hate Axl Rose. When I did my Motley Crue show, I think all those guys are disparageable. Still love some of their music, but I think as people, they're fucking pigs. So, but I like watching some of these guys on there, and some of them are. I'll watch their shows, and then I look at how many subscribers they have, and I'm like, fuck, this guy has 6,000 people watch this fucking guy. Really? Wow. Yeah. So I watched Darcy Six String, or whatever the fuck his name is. That guy's pretty fun. He texted me this morning and thanked me for some comments that I made on him. Yeah, he loves metal. I love anybody that loves metal. But there's this guy, and his name is Brendan something. He's some bald fuck. He did this unveiling for that fucking Technical Ecstasy album. And like anybody, like me, I would tell you, put comments, Put comments in there.
Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus team up.
What is this guy's name? The 5 albums I can't live without. Yeah. Brendan Snyder. He has 5,980 subscribers. It's crazy. Wow. Brendan Snyder. Anyways. So I kind of watch him. I'll subscribe to him. And so he does this. I was just scrolling through, and it was like, oh, unboxing the Technical Ecstasy box set. And I was like, first of all, I was like, somebody bought that? Now I know there's a small sprinkling of fans of that album. I know that. I'm of the opinion, dude, you can love Black Sabbath, and I'm also of the opinion, some albums are special to people at the time they got into that band. So if you were a kid, maybe 13 or so, back in 1976, or not 76, was it 70? Yeah, it was 76. Ooh. If you were a teenager back in 76, and that was a current Sabbath album, and you picked it up and you became a lifelong fan of that album because it holds nostalgia to you, never take that away from anybody. Totally cool. I, on the other hand, grew up listening to fucking Paranoid because my dad fucking loved Paranoid, so he'd fucking play Paranoid all the time. He had the Master Reality. He didn't play that as much, but he played the fuck out of Paranoid. So growing up in my household when I was 3 or 4 or 5 years old, it was fucking Paranoid on the turntable. I didn't hear Technical Ecstasy until fucking years later. I was 7 when that fucking album came out. 6 or 7 when that album came out. So I wasn't like, oh my god, I gotta go buy the new fucking Black Sabbath album. Anyways, so this Brendan guy, I had to watch it because I was like stunned that anybody bought that. Because to me, I hate that fucking album. It's fucking garbage. Like I said, now nostalgia wise, if that's your personal favorite album because of nostalgia, because it holds a place in your heart because it came into your life at a certain time, I understand that. But I don't understand the actual output of the album. Because and I talked about it on my Queen show, because I was saying how, like, nostalgia-wise, I would rate the game, like, way up there, because that was, like, the first album where I was really exposed to Queen. That sounded weird. But, output-wise, like, what was actually on the album, I rated it number 9. So there's the heart and the head, the ears and the, but I have every fucking Black Sabbath album. I've listened to Black Sabbath since I was like 2, probably before that. I mean, what year did fucking Paranoid came out? 1970. I was 1. My dad loved that album, played it all the time. I've listened to that album a fucking billion times. So he does his little review. Okay. And I'm going to show you how he does his review. So I make comments. I go, wow, I hate that album. It's fucking garbage. I can't believe anybody bought it. But that's cool. And then I gave a little story because when I did my Black Sabbath ranking, I did all the Black Sabbath albums. I didn't just do the Ozzy era Black Sabbath albums. If Ozzy era Black Sabbath albums, this would be the fucking bottom. And in the Black Sabbath albums, I think the only one I put lower than that was Forbidden, the Ice-T album. This album, it was fucking terrible. So anyways, I put in the comments like, ew, I fucking hate that album, along with every other fucking Black Sabbath band. It didn't sell well. It didn't do well. I guess there's like a Steven Wilson mix. Ooh. I don't know what you could do to that album to make it better. I really don't. I mean, I'm kind of curious to hear the Steven Wilson mix because I have the remaster because I bought the black box, which had all of them. It wasn't like I went out and go, oh, fuck, I need to get the Technical Ecstasy remastered. No, it was part of a box set, so it was like included. It's a snapshot of a band that's in utter disarray. And so I put that, and I put like, oh, the Eagles were recording Hotel California in the same studio, and Geezer Butler said that every day they'd have to go scrape the cocaine out of the mixing board, and that they must have left like a pound of cocaine. So I put that on my comments, and I was just like, yeah, this album's utter disarray. This fuckstick turns around and he fucking writes some crazy shit, and he's like, oh, what a waste of time. You know, you hate this album so much, but you seem to know a lot about it. And it's like, well, I know a lot about Black Sabbath, you fuck. So I was like, wow, are we not supposed to put comments in your? Because that's the whole point of comments, right? Is to give your insight on the shit too, right? Or was I just supposed to be like one of his little fucking troglodytes? Like, dude, what a great review, man! You're such a good guy. Not me. I always try and stir up the pot a little bit, right? So I reply back like, "Oh, okay. I didn't know you were gonna like deride me and like be a fucking asshole." Basically, I didn't tell him he was an asshole, but you know, like, what's your deal, motherfucker? You know? And then he was like, "Oh, well, you know, you're like crapping on the band," and I was like, dude, the people in the band hate this fucking album. Tony Iommi doesn't like that album. He said, well, we tried to be different and it didn't work. He's out of his mouth. Ozzy hates that fucking album. If he can remember it now, but I remember seeing interviews back in the day. He was like, when they did Never Say Die, he said he was embarrassed by that album. So, after Technical Ecstasy, he quit the fucking band. You know, like, Geezer Butler does not like this album. Nope, I don't know about Bill Ward. That's the only person like nobody ever interviewed him and said, "Dude, what do you think about Technical Ecstasy?" Oh my god, Bill plays good on this album. He sings, it's all right. So, anyways, I did, you know, I got into kind of a little war with this fuck stick. And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." Just critiquing the album, and then he's like, "Oh, well, you know, if you're going to critique an album, blah blah blah." He starts giving me insight, and it's like, you know, motherfucker, I've been doing fucking album reviews since fucking back when you lived in your mom's basement. And then I was like, oh wait, you fucking still live in your mom's basement? Because if you saw this guy, I'll put a picture of him up. I don't give a fuck. The fucking dweeb. But I refrained from being angry. But here's my point. One, your show is stupid, so, and it's like watching Barney. It's like it is. It's like watching the Barney of fucking heavy metal. Have you seen this guy? Like the other day, he did 5 albums he can't live without, and it was like Doctor Feelgood. Really? That's your favorite Molly Crew album, Doctor Feelgood? Okay. Detonator from Rat. Detonator. Yeah. Fuck, that's such a good album. And then I think he like trashed from Alice Cooper. Yeah. Oh, dude, this album has Joe Perry and Steven Tyler on it. It's so good. I fucking hate trash. Funny thing, oh, and then he had Flesh and Blood by Poison, which I agreed with them. I mean, out of all the Poison albums, that's the one I could stomach the most. I'm not a huge Poison fan. No, I hate them as much as I used to. Now I kind of, oh yeah, they were fun. I remember I watched that video and I put like, wow, I disagree on all of these, but hey, you know, music is subjective, so you love what you love. But this guy is the guy that if he was in Beavis and Butthead, he'd be that kid wearing the winger shirt. That's all I'm saying. He'd be the kid with the fucking winger shirt on. So I'm gonna give you a little fucking taste of what his interviews or his review was of Technical Ecstasy. I don't have a physical copy of Technical Ecstasy in my hand, so we'll wing it. So I'll be right back. Hi everybody. This is Brendan Snyder. We're gonna be doing a review today on the Technical Ecstasy super deluxe box set, and it's wow, I'm so excited about it because I've been waiting so long for this to come out because it's so dear to my heart. So I'm wearing my Def Leppard shirt because I just love Def Leppard. My Skid Row shirt, I can't find it because I think my grandma threw it out or something. But anyways, let's talk about Technical Ecstasy. The album came out in 1976. It was a little different than what Black Sabbath had done. I mean, there were so many things going on in 1976, and Black Sabbath decided they were going to try to do something super different. And even though the credits on the album are that the band produced the album, it was really mostly just Tony Iommi. You know, he was like the one that just got stuck um, in charge of doing the production on the album, and he did a darn fine job because he's such a good guy. I really love Tony Iommi, and it's like he really captured the sound of this transitional Black Sabbath album and made it so pure and amazing. Um, if you look at the cover, you see that it's really artful and really technical. It's like almost science fiction. And I remember when I bought this album the first time, I was like, wow, those guys are amazing. Like, I love that album. Just the cover alone is amazing. Wow. So let's get into the track listing. It starts off with that really hard rocker, Backstreet Kids. It's so good. You know, Tony's just got that crunchy guitar and Ozzy's just wailing along. It's such a great song. What a great album opener. I love Backstreet Kids. Um, then it goes into kind of a smoother, little ballady kind of thing with "You Won't Change Me," and that's such a good song. You know, it makes me feel like I'm in love with Ozzy. Um, then you got "It's Alright," and it's weird because if you didn't know, Bill Ward sings this song, and at first you're like, "Whoa, Ozzy sounds totally different," and then you're like, "Oh, that's not Ozzy, it's Bill Ward," because it's so amazing when your drummer can suddenly sing on your albums. I really love that song. It sounds kind of like a cool Castaway Paul McCartney John Lennon song, kind of almost like the Beatles wrote it, but then it wasn't really up to their standards, so they threw it away. And Bill Ward went through their trash can, and he found it and he called it his own. That's what it feels like. It's so good. Um, Gypsy. Oh, Gypsy. I love Gypsy. It's so it's it's a hard rocker, but at the same time, there's a little bit of Tony Iommi's. I think you could hear him snorting cocaine in the background. It's so amazing, and I really like that song. I have a lot of love for this album because personally, it's like I feel like I played on it, even though I didn't. But you know, some days like me and my grandma were sitting on the couch while I'm playing my PS3, and I go, you know, Grandma, I really think I was in the band when they did Technical Ecstasy. I really feel that connection. And she's like, and you know, because Grandma doesn't say much. Um, what else do we got? We have All Moving Parts Stand Still. Um, this song is written about a transsexual that becomes the president of the United States, and it's amazing. Probably my favorite song on the album because it kind of coincides with my dreams of being president one day. Yeah, I really love Technical Ecstasy. Did I mention that the cover was so amazing? It looked all artistic and spacey. Whoa. Yeah. Rock and Roll Doctor. Oh, that's such a rockin' song. It's kind of a rocker. It sounds like a bad Kiss song. That's what some people say, but I don't get that feel, man. I feel it's like a good Kiss song by a bad band. No, a bad Kiss song by a good band. I don't know. I feel such a love for Rock and Roll Doctor. She's Gone is a bummer, and I really dig that. And the album, oh my god, it ends up with Dirty Women, which is um, kind of about like prostitutes that were in Miami that Geezer saw, and then he wrote that song. And I feel like a connection to that because that's the only way I would ever get laid is paying a hooker. Yeah, Technical Ecstasy, the double deluxe super box set is so fucking good. Did I say a bad word? Oops. I'm terribly sorry. I don't really like to use profanity. Um, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Because that's what Technical Ecstasy is. It's so amazing. It's such a great album. And the cover, oh my god, the cover is so mystical. And it just bonds with my heart. I really love that. And I really love like Poison and Skid Row, and my favorite band of all time is probably Helix. I really love Helix and Kicks, and Quiet Riot. I have a Quiet Riot tattoo on my, yeah. Anyways, thank you all. I think my grandma's making milk and cookies right now, so I gotta go. But go ahead and subscribe, and don't put comments though, because if you put comments, I'll act like I'm cool and like try and like talk shit to you. And yeah, so don't put anything negative or don't be commenting on my stuff unless you disagree with me. So thank you guys. I'll see you again soon. I'm gonna go order my Demoxenil now because here's my version. All right. So been 45 fucking years since this pile of shit came out, and they want us to go and buy it. It's got a live show on it. Who cares? The thing you have to ask yourself about, how did they go from fucking the brilliance of fucking Sabotage to this fucking pile of shit? And I will tell you, there's one word, and it's super easy. It's called cocaine. Cocaine, baby. Like Dr. Roxo. I love cocaine, baby. Dr. Roxo. This album, it's fucking shit. And, you could polish it up and you could have Steven Wilson, who's suddenly he's the fucking messiah. Whatever. I fucking hate it when these little fucking bitches come in and everybody's like, oh, there's, like Andrew Watt, that guy that produces Ozzy. He's fucking terrible. It's just, he's the new name in the business right now. So everybody's like, oh, Andrew Watt, he's a shitty guitar player and he's a producer. He's fucking terrible. That Ozzy album fucking sounded like garbage. But Ozzy's like hooked up with him like he's this fucking, life support system. It's fucking terrible. Anyways, Steven Wilson can do whatever the fuck. The only way to make this album sound better is to record it with different songs. Because it's not only the sound of this album, because it sounds like shit, because, Tony is coked out of his motherfucking skull trying to fucking master this shit, and he probably had no fucking idea what he was doing. All the guys would do their parts, and they would be like, later, and they'd all bail to the beach and get fucked up and sit out in the sun. Because they weren't in England, where there is no sun. They were like, ooh, they're in Miami in 1976 with a bunch of cocaine. Figure it out, man. Fucking Scarface, And then Tony was the one that was like, I don't know if he was more high than them or less high than them, and he was the one like, oh, dude, we gotta get this album done, because we need more cocaine. and we got to put out albums to get more cocaine. So, the songs are good, and that's the bottom line. When you, like I said, you can nostalgically like, oh, I love this album, cool, but from a song perspective, these songs are not good, and they are certainly the worst of the Black Sabbath songs, and I'm going all the way up to like Forbidden on that. These songs are terrible, and the production's terrible now. I don't know what supposedly Steven Wilson got a hold of the original audio tapes, and he did his magic because he's fucking amazing. Anyways, let's go over it. The cover is fucking stupid. It's by Hypnosis, who did, like, you know, Led Zeppelin, House of the Holy, did all the fucking Pink Floyd albums and shit. It's like a vagina strapped to a robot spitting some shit, and then there's like a phallic robot, and they're going up escalators, and one's laser and one, the other one's... It's fucking stupid. Like, what a horrible album cover. Ugh. The only album cover that's worse than that, seriously, is probably like Dance of Death from fucking Iron Maiden, and that was just an accident. This is done on purpose. But, you know, 76 was like, dude, that's cool, man. Oh, yeah, dude, things look awesome when you're coked out of your fucking skull. It's when you come down that things don't look awesome. You end up looking like fucking Ray Liotta and fucking Goodfellas all sketched out. That was Iommi. Iommi was Ray Liotta. See that helicopter, man? Is there a helicopter? Everybody else was they were all at the beach. They didn't give a fuck. Can you imagine? You're in Miami and it's like Geezer, Butler, Bill Ward, and Ozzy are all chilling on the beach. And Tony's back at the studio just railing out coke, trying to mix this pile of shit album. Let's go over the track listing real quick. Backstreet Kids, fucking terrible. Fucking sounds like shit. Dumb lyrics. You Won't Change Me. Kind of long. Boring. It's the thing is, and Sabbath was trying to be different because it was 76, and they were like, well, you know, we want to make something different. That's what Iommi says. Iommi's like, well, we were trying to be different. It's like, well, no, I think you were just coked out of your skull, and you thought like these songs were inspired, and they fucking weren't. Cocaine helps you do crazy shit, and when you take it away, you're faced with the sudden fucking reality of what the fuck is this? But when you're in the groove and you're coked out of your skull, you're like, yeah, this is so good. Oh my God. Yeah. It's alright. It's a Bill Ward song, and guess what? It's alright. Sounds like a Beatles tune. Bill Ward's a good singer, you know. Gypsy's cool, but like Ozzy's vocals are so slammed into the back that half the time you can't even hear what the fuck he's finishing, you know, the verse. It's fucking terrible. All moving parts stand still. It's probably the only song on the album that I think is good. It's a song about a transsexual. They called them transvestites back in 1976. They didn't call them transgendered people. Fucking transvestite, you know. Tranny. Ooh, can I keep saying shit like that? I guess. Becoming president, which probably is not that far off. So, whatever. It's a cool song. It's weird. I didn't really get that vibe from it, but whatever. Rock and Roll Doctor. Not good. Fucking not good. You know what it seems like? It seems like the attraction at the beach was so fucking strong to them that they just wrote whatever the fuck they wanted, did it real quick, and got the fuck out of there. That's what this album feels like. That's what these songs feel like. Rock and Roll Doctor. God, it's such a fucking terrible song. She's Gone. Thank God. And Dirty Women, it's about hookers. Super long. It's like 7 minutes. Yeah, that's Technical Ecstasy. If you bought the box set, I guess you like that album, but I would never waste $60 on this fucking pile of shit. Like I said, the only reason I have the remaster is because it came with the box set. So, least favorite fucking Aussie era Black Sabbath album. Fucking lame. Sounds like shit. Songs aren't good. Need I go on? If you take Sabotage and this is the next album, put those two together and then ask yourself, what the fuck happened? Well, fucking bunch of coke, bunch of blow, railing it out, dude. Trying to be something different, which whatever. They're Black Sabbath, dude. They learned the valuable lesson, which is you could be different, but don't be like not yourself. You know, Black Sabbath was different all the time. They were different on all their albums. They were always trying something new. You know, listen to Solitude on fucking like Master Reality. Listen to Planet Caravan. Jesus Christ. Listen to anything on fucking Sabbath Bloody Sabbath or Sabotage. I mean, they were always fucking evolving and changing. But this time, they didn't even sound like Black Sabbath most of the time. On the other excursions into Strangeville, they still maintained their status of Black Sabbath. This album, they tried to be somebody else. There's parts in here they sound like a bad Kiss song, Rock and Roll Doctor, you know. And they did the same shit on the next album, but not to a lesser degree because there are actually a few songs on there where it's like, oh, that's Sabbath. Here, like I said, I don't know what the fuck Steven Wilson's gonna do to this album, and I don't really care. I'm not seeking it. I'm not trying to like redeem this album, and that's kind of the funny thing about some of these albums is most of these people that like are embracing this album, like first of all, they're young, so they're like they weren't even around when this album came out. So they're like trying to embrace garbage, you know, and I don't do that. I don't know. It's like I talked about my Sabbath thing. It's like Robert Downey Jr. wearing that Never Say Die shirt, you know, as Iron Man. You know, yeah, you're repping Never Say Die. And then a bunch of dumb fucks, you know, dude, I'm going to get that shirt, man. It's awesome. And you're celebrating Never Say Die? Cool. Not. Same thing with celebrating this pile of shit. This was Sharon Osbourne needs another fucking facelift. Another set of tits. Another fucking lip injection. This is Sharon Osbourne pushing stuff at you. That's probably Sharon Osbourne. Stop putting money in Sharon Osbourne's fucking pocket. Because if you don't think, oh, well, no. Sharon Osbourne owns fucking Black Sabbath. If you don't believe that, then you're fucking delusional. But that's fucking God's honest truth. So you could give a nickel to Tony Iommi and all them. But you really need to stop paying them money for stuff. Like the last box set, I got it because I love fucking Sabotage. Sabotage is my favorite Black Sabbath album. But it was a ripoff. I mean, some of the live show was already put out on past lives and whatever. I got it for the live show. I mean, the remaster, it's been remastered already. I don't know how many fucking times you got to keep remastering it. But it was a ripoff because they were like, oh, it's 4 discs. The last disc was 2 songs. And it was like the edit to fucking Am I Going Insane Radio. Is that a disc? 2 songs? Yeah. So it was really 3 discs and it was like expensive. So this one, oh, I'm just waiting for the Never Say Die one. Yeah. Where's the original album? They waiting for the. What are they waiting for? It's been 52 years. Like, I don't know. They skipped some. I mean, I know they did Volume 4. I know they did Paranoid, but all it was Paranoid and then the live. What was it? Live in Paris. I have it. It wasn't that exciting. That's all they do. They put out the remix album and then they put out a live. On this one, though, I guess there's some outtakes. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, man. I want to hear the outtakes from fucking Technical Ecstasy. That'd be fucking great. Like, in the background, all you hear is them chopping up fucking lines. Or for those people that have never done cocaine, that is the sound of you chopping up lines. Yeah, I would never buy this. And Technical Ecstasy is fucking garbage. So you could polish up a turd all you want. It's still a turd underneath. Embracing mediocrity, and that's what this was. And the members of the band will tell you that this album is not good. But you as a fan, if you're going to embrace it, like I said, if this was the album that you got when you were 12, 13 years old, and you were like, I love it, I get it, man. I get it. I have albums like that. But going from the standard of Black Sabbath albums, this isn't even on the list. This is holding up the couch with, 3 legs. So, thank you, Brendan, for telling me how to do reviews and being a little bitch. I think your grandma's calling you for milk and cookies already. So, I value people's opinion about this much. Everybody, like Mick Watkins will tell you, everybody opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. Exactly, Mick. See, I would love getting in a fight with him because we would just be fucking laughing at each other. But this little bald guy. What else do we got? When the fuck is the new Megadeth album coming out? When? I fucking look it up, and that shit ain't fucking. It's like it's done, but it is nowhere to be seen. Let's fucking ask. The 5C. Wait, let's see. I just want to watch this guy. Hi, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about the 5 albums I can't live without. Oh my god. Rocking my Skid Row shirt. Got Poison and The Dirt and some Rat behind them.
Isn't a bad song on one of these, making all of these albums I can't live without. But before we dive into this, if you are new to my channel and you haven't already hit
my channel, like the Mr. Rogers of fucking metal album reviews. It's unbelievable. Fuck that guy. You're a little bitch. See, fucking Darcy 6-string 9 Lives. He's fucking cool as shit. He gave me a little metal militia. I know I'm a fucking childish asshole, but I don't give a fuck. Just don't be. Just fucking don't. Understand, if you're on YouTube and you leave your comments open and you ask people to comment, you should be totally objective about what anybody says. Unless they come at you and tell you you're a fucking retard, you should leave them the fuck alone. But if you want to pick fights with people, well, fuck, I'll keep going. I'm a fucking asshole. Yeah, when is the new Megadeth album coming out? Gee, Matt, no fucking idea. So, Dave Mustaine, get off your ass and put this goddamn album out. Jesus. I don't know why, but I'm jonesing for some new Megadeth. Don't know why. Probably just so I could see him without fucking David Ellefson back in the fucking band. Unplugged in Boston. Yeah. David Ellefson. Bye. Fucking hated that guy. I met that guy. And the reason why I hate David Ellefson is because I met him. And he was a fucking douchebag. So it wasn't shocking when all this stuff came down. But glad they severed the ties on that. Fuck that guy. He's not even a good bass player. People go, dude, no way. David Ellefson's a great bass player. Oh, yeah? Is he? Okay. He's amazing. He's in my list. So you say bass player. Oh, fuck David Ellefson. No. That's not the name that pops up. That'd be like saying Nikki Sixx. That guy in Cinderella with the really tall hair. I remember I saw David Lee Roth in '86 and Cinderella opened, and I remember like, it was '86. It was like 16. It was like 16, 17. It was like, oh yeah. And you'd see the videos on MTV of fucking Cinderella, man. They ran around, they had the live videos, like save me, I'm just rocking out. Those motherfuckers straight stood there. And I remember the bass player, I can't remember his fucking name. He had that blonde hair. He must have like dipped his head in a bucket of Aquanex. His hair was like this tall. And he just stood there. Like the whole time. And I remember like looking over at George, my bro. And being like, those videos are full of shit. You know? These guys are timekeepers up there, like making love to the microphone stand with all the little neckerchiefs on it that he stole from Steven Tyler. You know, he's all, I'm just like, what else I got? I don't know. I don't really got anything else. Everybody stay metal. Subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. And also put motherfucking comments. And if you put motherfucking comments, I promise you, I won't be a little bitch and go, you sound like you're crapping on the beer. And to Brendan Snyder, a big fuck you. Yeah.